All righty, guys. Happy Monday. Thanks so much for joining me. This is going to be an all arm balances yoga class. Just to preface this is a challenging class, and just know that I'm only here to give you guys a space to practice these arm balances, but just remember that you guys are at home and you don't have a yoga teacher with you, so please be careful if this is the first time you're ever trying these poses. I just want to show you guys how to get into various different arm balances. So again, just have fun, challenge yourself, please don't get hurt, and just have fun falling too and laugh at yourself because it's going to be silly. I'm going to make sure everyone is muted. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and begin. We're actually going to be sitting up. So go ahead and cross your legs, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe the palms of the hands are facing up if you want to receive energy today, or maybe the palms are facing down if you want to feel more grounded. And either soften the gaze or flutter your eyes closed. Really grounding down through the sits bones. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Nice, easy breaths right here. Not manipulating the breath in any way. And just noticing the breath here. Is your breath shallow today? Is it long and deep? Just noticing it. And just notice your thoughts as they come and go. Begin to deepen the breath as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. As you inhale, nice and long, deep breaths, filling up your belly. And as you exhale, drawing the belly back towards the spine. Creating this audible breath, this ocean-like sound as you constrict the whisper muscles in the back of the throat. Kind of sounds like ocean-like waves. Creating longer, deep breaths in. And longer, deep breaths out. Inhaling any positivity, any good energy. And exhaling any negative energy, any stagnant energy, anything that you need to release, something that's not serving you, let it all go. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, open your mouth side out. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, release it out. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. As you inhale, draw the hands up towards the sky. As you exhale, twisting over to the right side, left hand in front of you, right hand behind you. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twisting over to the left side. Nice, easy twist. Inhale, come back up through center. Lift up to lengthen as you exhale, twist. Maybe take your gaze past the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the left side. Maybe take your gaze past the left shoulder. And back through center. Hands come up. As you exhale, hands come right behind your back. Take a clasp with the hands, take a bind. As you inhale, open up the chest. Shoulders squeeze together, or the shoulder blades squeeze together. Lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, maybe you stay right here if you want a little more intense feeling. Maybe you start to drop the chest all the way down towards the earth. Bring the hands behind your back. Inhale draws you up. And as you exhale, go ahead and take the clasp, bind with your hands over to the right hip crease, and then take your right ear down towards the right shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you take your head down and up. Nice and slow movements here. And then draw your head back through center. Go ahead, take the clasp of the hands over to the left hip crease. Draw the left ear down towards the left shoulder. And maybe you stay right here, or maybe you take the head down and back up. Nice and slow movements. And draw the head back through center. Release the bind with the hands. Hands come up overhead. And then as you exhale, go ahead and push your hands out. And go ahead and spread the fingertips out wide. And you're gonna start to take the hands over to the right side as if you're opening up a jar. So we're gonna be doing a lot of arm balances here today. So you're gonna really wanna warm up the wrists. As you probably already know, the wrists are not meant to hold your entire body weight. You need to make sure that they're flexible. You need to make sure that they gain strength before you get into an arm balance. So that's really important that we warm them up. So do this 2 more times. And then pause here in stillness. And from here, clench the fists together and then spread them out wide. Clenching the fists together, spread them out wide. Just a couple more times. And last time. And now begin to just flick the wrist as if you're trying to get water off your hands. And then go ahead and roll over your ankles, coming into tabletop. Nice flat spine. Making sure those wrists are right above or right underneath the shoulders here. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze up. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone under, coming into your cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Moving with your breath at your pace. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. And then meeting me back in neutral spine, go ahead and take your right hand behind your skull, bending the elbow here. As you inhale, draw the elbow up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw the elbow down towards the earth. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, come up, and staying right here, go ahead and extend that right hand up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread that arm through, planting the palm of the hand, the right shoulder, the right cheek down towards your mat, getting a nice little shoulder stretch here. And then maybe with that left hand, you extend it out in front of you, tenting your fingers up. Maybe you stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna take that left hand behind your back, hooking it onto your right hip crease. Taking 2 more breaths here. And if you have the bind, release the bind. Bring your hand right back under the shoulder as you inhale, pressing all the way up, hand up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, meeting me back in tabletop. Doing the same thing on the other side. Go ahead, take your left hand behind your skull. As you inhale, take that elbow up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, take it back down towards your mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale, come up, staying right here. Go ahead, extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, threading that arm through, planting that left palm, the left shoulder, the left cheek down towards the earth. Glutes up towards the sky. Maybe with the right hand, you extend it out in front of you, tenting your fingers up as if there's a cupcake under your hands and you don't want to smush it. Either staying right here, maybe take your hand behind your back, hooking it onto your left hip crease for a bind. Breathing into the space. One more breath. And if you have the bind, release the bind. Bring that hand right back onto the shoulder. Press back up as you inhale. As you exhale, take it back to tabletop. So doing a little bit more of wrist exercises here. Go ahead and take your hands so the fingertips, the middle fingers are touching. And we're just gonna rock from side to side here. Again, trying to gain some more flexibility, trying to gain some more strength for our wrists to prepare us for the arm balances. Two more breaths right here. Start feeling these in your forearms. And then come to stillness, and as if you're opening up a jar again, going to the right, making your fingertips face your body now. So both fingertips are facing your body, and you're gonna start to come back and or forwards and backwards here. So planting the palms of the hands down and then drawing your glutes closer to your heels. Again, you should be feeling the sensation in your forearms. Take two more breaths here. And then come back to neutral, so palms are facing up. And then go ahead and take your palms facing down, and again, the middle fingers are gonna be touching once more. And now go from side to side, feeling this different sensation. And then coming to neutral right here, come to stillness. And then from here, without switching the way that our hands are, you're gonna start to curl the fingers as if you wanna create a fist and then release them back down. It's really hard. It's kind of different sensation here. Yeah, you're gonna want to curl the fingers as if you wanna create a fist and then release them back down. It's very hard to do. We'll do two more. And last one. Go ahead and release the hands, sit your hips back onto your heels and shake it out. All right, guys, we're gonna go straight into it. So as I said in the beginning of class, go ahead and take, if you have blocks, get your blocks. If you don't have blocks and you have books, grab your books. I'm gonna be using a block and a book to make it fair. So go ahead and take your blocks or books. You're gonna come and sit on your glutes. You're gonna plant the feet down, bending the knees. The block or the book are right behind you if you need them. They're gonna be right under the shoulders. So your fingertips are gonna be facing your body. So plant the hands down right onto your blocks or books. And again, you don't need them, but they are gonna create more space for you. So it's gonna become less challenging if you have these tools for you. So planting the feet down, you're gonna send the hips up into a reverse tabletop, making sure those knees are stacked right on top of the ankles. And then from here, you're gonna glide your glutes past under your shoulders here and coming up onto your heels. Lots of core work right here. As you inhale, come into reverse tabletop. As you exhale, bring your glutes down. Inhale to reverse tabletop. Exhale, bring your glutes down, hovering them. You got it. Two more. And then the last one. And on this one, hold it here as your heels are down, your glutes are up. And see if maybe, just maybe, you can lift one foot up, another foot up, or maybe you bring both foot up, feet up, and then release it down. Shake your wrists out. Awesome job, guys. All right, from here, we're gonna go ahead and cross our ankles. So you're gonna sit in an easy seat. If you have lotus or if you have half lotus, go ahead and get into that. Half lotus is you're gonna take one foot into the hip crease, so your right foot into your left hip crease and have the other one dangle. If your hips are really open, maybe you come into full lotus, so that left foot comes into your right hip crease and this is full lotus, or maybe you just stay in an easy seat, right? So from here, go ahead, do the same variation with the hands, fingertips are facing your body. And so from here, you're just gonna press down through the palms of the hands, you're gonna lift the glutes up, and maybe right here, you're just gonna lift, you're gonna come onto the knife edge of your feet if you're in easy seat right here. And then bring it back down. And then lift back up and bring it back down. And maybe this time you play around with lifting one foot up. Maybe you play around with lifting both feet up and holding it here, engaging the core, lifting up a little bit higher, and then releasing it. Shake out your wrists. Nice job, guys. We're really getting into it. Starting out strong. All right, guys, from here, go ahead and come onto your knees. Sink your hips back onto your heels. And you're gonna take your blocks or your books right under your shoulders. So we're gonna come to what's called the Lasana. So from here, you're gonna, as you inhale, you're gonna come onto the tops of your toes, and you're gonna send the knees up onto your chest. You're gonna round the spine, and then you're gonna bring your knees back down. You're gonna inhale, knees come into chest, come onto the tops of your toes, and then come right back down. Good, inhale, come up. Maybe this time you lift one foot up, maybe you lift the other foot up. Maybe you play around with lifting both feet up, engaging the core, and release it back down. Shake out those hands. Nice job, guys. You can go ahead and move the blocks or your books out of the way. We're gonna plant the hands down. We're gonna tuck the back toes, send those hips up and back, downward facing dog. And just let out a big sigh. We made it. We haven't passed out yet. Release the head, plant the hands down onto your mat. Nice flat back here, belly towards spine. Tailbone lifts up. Take 3 big deep breaths here. Alrighty, guys, from here, go ahead and walk the big toes together. You're gonna sink your hips back down onto your heels. Knees come out wide, so as if you're a frog. And hands are planted right in front of you. And from here, as you exhale, you're gonna start to straighten out the legs, coming onto your tippy toes. And as you inhale, come right back down to your frog leg pose. As you exhale, come onto your tippy toes and try to get those shoulders over the wrists. And then come right back down towards those heels. Doing 2 more like this. Using your breath here as power. And then come back onto your heels. So from here, I'm going to show you guys 2 variations. Feel free to keep doing this variation, but I just want to open up the options to challenge yourself a little bit more. So from here, 2 options. You can either use this variation the way that we have frog legs to jump into crow pose. Again, this is just an option. This is something that can happen later in your practice, but it's going to be the same thing, right? So as you exhale, you're going to come up, or as you inhale, you're going to come up, and you're going to go straight into your crow pose. So that's something to play around with. Again, using the same thing. We're going to slowly come up onto our tippy toes. We're going to bend the elbows as if they're coming into a chaturanga push-up, and we're going to slowly come into crow pose. So that's number 1. Another variation is starting to work on handstands. So how you work handstands is doing those donkey kicks that we've been doing in class the past couple of weeks. So again, coming up on the balls of the toes, and then bring your heels up towards your glutes, and then come right back down. Pressing the hands down, kick your feet up towards your glutes, and then come right back down. Trying to have one long line here, so shoulders, hips are stacked over shoulders, shoulders stacked over the wrists. So I'll give you guys like 3 breaths to practice whatever variation you want to practice, and then we're all going to eventually meet in a halfway lift. Take all the time you need, there's no rush. Again, these are just options here, there's different variations. And actually come and meet in a forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart, let your head hang heavy. And then walk your feet a little bit further out, so further than hip distance. Get a little slight bend in the knees, maybe grab opposite elbows. And just sway from side to side, release any tension in the body here. Making this as comfortable as possible. Taking one more breath. And if you have the bind here, release the bind. As you inhale, come to a halfway lift, nice flat back. As you exhale, fold it down. As you inhale, slowly round the spine, big deep bend in the knees, slowly coming up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, reach your arms high. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold it down. On your next inhale, go ahead, step the right foot back, coming into a low runner's lunge. From here, go ahead and toe heel the left foot out. Bring both hands on the inside of the left foot. So we're gonna start coming into a hurdler's pose, another arm balance. But for here, if you guys have your blocks or your books, you can bring them on the inside of the left foot just to create some more space here. So maybe you're on the palms of your hands, maybe you come down onto your forearms. You're more than welcome to drop that back knee and untuck those toes, taking your variation here. You're also more than welcome to come on the knife edge of the left foot, opening up this left hip a little bit more. Just find what's comfortable for you. All right, guys, so from here, coming into hurdler's pose, you can go ahead and use your blocks for this as well. If you have blocks or books, you're more than welcome to not use them as well. But if you're gonna have your blocks and your books, you can take one block, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap the left shoulder under the left knee and take your hand on the outside of the left foot. So you have one block on the inside, one block on the outside. Planting the hands down, you're gonna shimmy that left shoulder under your left knee. And then you're gonna, if your knee is dropped, go ahead and tuck the back toes and send that knee off the ground. And from here, what I like to do is I like to raise the left foot up high first, and then bend the elbows here as if I'm coming into a chaturanga push-up, and then slowly begin to inch forward, making sure that chest is nice and lifted, and slowly start to lift that right leg off the ground. It's hard, guys. Again, these are all options, okay? I didn't get this in a day, but just play around with that. You have the first step right there. Yes. Yeah, you also need very open hips for this, and that's all progress and flexibility that everyone works on, has to work on. So take 2 more breaths wherever you are, and we'll all meet right back in that low runner's lunge. You can take your hands right on the inside of that left foot. And then you can remove your blocks here. And then if you have the back knee down on the floor, tuck the back toes, send that lift, that leg or that knee off the ground. Plant your hands down, step it back down, we'll take some time. 3 breaths right here, option to come into child's pose. And then from here, go ahead, sink your hips down onto your heels, bring your knees out wide, plant the hands down. Again, working on your variation. So maybe you're working on jumping straight into crow pose, maybe you're working on handstands. Whatever your variation is, take 3 breaths right here and play around with that. And then we'll all eventually meet at the top of our mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. As you exhale, fold down. As you inhale, bend the knees around the spine, coming all the way up. Mountain pose, arms reach up overhead. As you exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. As you inhale, step that left foot back, coming into that low runner's lunge. Take both hands on the inside of the left leg. Again, maybe you take your blocks or your book on the inside, just creating more space here. Maybe you're on the palms of your hands, maybe you're on the forearms, maybe you drop that back knee. Working to open up that hip. Take 3 more breaths here. And then whenever you are ready, taking your variation. So if you're using blocks, take that one block on the outside of the right foot, shimmy your right shoulder under the right knee. You're good. If your knee is dropped, go ahead, tuck the back toe, send that knee off the ground. And then plant your hands down. You're gonna wanna lift that right leg first, and then create that shelf with your arms, and then slowly send your chest forward, lift the back leg up. You notice that one side feels way different than the other side. Take some time to play here. That was good.
I
Move that leg.
can't get it in my shoulder all the way underneath.
All right, and slowly coming right back down. Your low runner's lunge, take both hands on the instep of the right foot. Remove the blocks here. Now take your hands to frame the foot. Tuck the back toe, send that knee up high, step it back, downward facing dog. Taking your legs out, your feet out wide, so about the distance of your yoga mat if you have it, wider than hip distance apart. And then coming into a twist, go ahead, take your right hand over to the left ankle. Begin to bend the right elbow. Bring your head under your left armpit. And releasing it. Taking that left hand over to the right ankle, bending through the left elbow. And coming back through center. From here, go ahead and walk your hands to your feet. Toes come out wide, or toes come out, heels are in. And then go ahead and begin to bend the knees, coming into a yogi squat, malasana. Nice straight spine right here. Chest is lifted. All right, from here, another arm balance. You're gonna wanna take your blocks to your books and keep them near you. From here, you're gonna plant the hands down. You're gonna lift the glutes up. You're gonna begin to take, you can take your blocks or books with you. You're gonna shimmy the shoulders under the knees and bring your hands on the outside of the feet. We're coming into Titivasana or firefly. You're gonna create that shelf with your elbows. So as if, again, you're coming into a chaturanga push-up, tricep push-up. And you're gonna start to sink your hips down onto that shelf. And you're gonna lift your gaze forward, lift the chest, and your feet slowly start to come off the ground. And then eventually you're gonna slowly start to straighten off the legs. Nice. Yeah. Heck yes. Yeah, you are. And then slowly you can release the glutes down towards the ground. You can shake the wrists out. You made it. And then we're all gonna meet in a boat pose because a lot of arm balances and any type of inversions in yoga has a lot to do with core. So of course we're gonna add that in there. So coming into a boat pose, shins are parallel to your mat, nice flat spine, belly in, arms come out in front of you or maybe they're behind you. And then as you inhale, slowly come into your low boat. As you exhale, come into high boat. And low boat. High boat. Use your breath. 3 more. Nice. 2. And 1. Come into high boat, cross your ankles over, meeting me in downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. Taking a big deep breath in. Exhaling it out. Then on your next inhale, take your gaze to the top of the mat, either walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift when you get there. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, round the spine, mountain pose. Hands come to touch. As you exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips low, coming into chair pose. So making sure those big toes are coming to touch. Heels are out wide. Belly towards spine, tuck that tailbone under. All right, guys, from here, go ahead and take a twist over to the right. So hooking that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Take a moment here, look at your knees. Is that left knee wanting to come forward? If so, make sure those are both aligned. All right, you can either stay here, sinking those hips down low. If you want to play with side crow, you're more than welcome to. How you play with side crow, you're gonna plant your hands down. You're gonna create that shelf. You're gonna bring your glutes down. Again, creating that shelf as if you're doing a tricep push-up. And then you're slowly gonna start to bring all of your weight onto that shelf and slowly begin to lift the feet off the ground. You're welcome to straighten out the legs. You're welcome to bring that top leg back, scissoring your feet, taking your variation. Nice. Yeah. Like that? Yes. Perfect. Woo. Heck yes. Woo. And then you can come back whenever you're ready. You can shake out the wrist. Come into a forward fold. Release your head. And we have another side, so here we go. Slowly come up. Mountain pose. Hands come to touch. As you exhale, hands come to prayer. Bend the knees, sink the hips low. As you exhale, twist over to the left side, hooking that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Sinking those hips down low. Again, take a moment, look at your knees. Is that right leg wanting to come past the left? If so, make sure they're aligned. From here, you can either hang out right here, or maybe you sink the hips low, plant those hands down. And then again, creating that shelf, slowly beginning to hinge forward as you add your weight onto your triceps, onto that shelf. And then slowly lifting off. You can stay right here. You can begin to straighten out the legs. You can scissor the legs. You can fall over like me. Nice. Taking a moment, wherever you are, you can shake out those wrists. We'll all meet in a forward fold. Release the head here. You can take some wrist circles. Your wrists are bothering you. Slowly bend through the knees, round the spine, slowly coming all the way up to mountain pose. Go ahead, reach the arms up. Take that right hand, grab the left wrist, reach up and over to the right side. Back through center, take that left hand, grab the right wrist, reach up and over to the left side. And come through center. Go ahead and take the hands in a bind, and then just begin to take some circles here. We have a couple more arm balances left. There's a lot in this flow. I apologize. I got a little too excited. All right, guys, and go ahead, release the bind, shake the hands out. From here, coming into a figure four stretch. So standing on your left leg, go ahead, bring your knee in toward your right knee in toward your chest, and then take that right leg across the left thigh, and you're gonna sink your hips down low. So you have the option to hang out right here. You can have your hands in prayer, thumb knuckles pressed against the sternum, flexing that right foot. You have the option to take your right hand down towards the earth. Maybe that left hand comes on the sole of that right foot. You can really feel it on your right hip right here, sinking the hips low. You want to take it a little bit further into an arm balance. You can do flying pigeon. So how that looks like, you're going to keep sinking the hips down. You're going to take your both hands right in front of you on towards the floor. And then this foot is going to hook onto your left tricep. It's going to wrap around your left tricep. Let me see. It's going to wrap around your left tricep. And you're going to sink the hips low. You're going to plant your hands down. Again, you're more than welcome to use your blocks or your books here to create some more space. And then you're slowly going to begin to hinge forward. Hinge, hinge, hinge. And then until you eventually take the weight off of that back foot, and then you can eventually extend that leg out. Nice job, guys. Nice. And so coming back down, go ahead and slide that right foot in front of your left foot. So ankles are across and fold forward. Release the neck right here. Walk your hands over to the left side. And walk your hands over to the right side. And back through center, round the spine, slowly come all the way up. And then go ahead and unbind the feet. Doing the same thing on the same side, coming back into that figure four stretch. We're coming into another arm balance called hummingbird. So take that figure four stretch. This one's a little more funkier, a little more challenging. Coming into that figure four stretch, flexing the foot. Again, take your variation right here. From here, what's a little tricky is you're gonna start to twist your torso over to the left side. So you're gonna sink the hips down, twist your torso over to the left side, sink those hips low. And now this right foot is gonna come onto my right tricep. Very funky. From here, plant the hands down. You're gonna lift the glutes up. And you're gonna slowly, again, create that tricep, push up those hands, and slowly, slowly, slowly come off the ground. Very funky. How you doing? Again, you can use those blocks, use those books, guys. They are there as tools. They are there to create some more space to make this a little less challenging. They're there for help. Our body structures are all different. Some people's arms are shorter than others. I have really long arms, so I don't really need to use the blocks.
Yeah, I don't think my hip, like, it's.
Yeah, your hips also need to be really open. All right, guys, whenever you're ready, come back to forward fold. And then bend through the knees round the spine. Come all the way up. All right, we have another side, so here we go. Grounding down to the right foot, come into figure four. Flexing that foot, sinking down low. Take your variation, so maybe you're hanging out right here, getting a nice little hip stretch. Maybe that left hand comes down in front of you, right hand comes on the sole of the left foot, hanging out right here. Or maybe you come into flying pigeon, so both hands come in front of you. Wrap those toes around the triceps, plant the hands down, and slowly begin to inch yourself forward onto that shelf until you eventually lift off and you can extend that back foot. Nice. Woohoo. Make sure you lift your gaze. Yeah. Yeah, make sure your gaze is lifted, chest is lifted, or else you're gonna go straight down. All right, guys, go ahead, slide that left foot in front of the right, crossing your ankles, and fold forward. Walking your hands over to the right side. And over to the left side. And coming back through center, round through the spine, slowly drawing your body up towards mountain pose, unbinding the legs. Again, coming into that figure four stretch once more. Grounding down to the right foot, sinking your hips down, coming into hummingbird on the other side if that's in your practice. So again, maybe you're hanging out right here. If you're coming into hummingbird, again, you're going to twist your torso over to the right side. You're going to plant your hands down. You're going to sink those hips down low. You're going to take that left foot onto the left tricep. And you're going to slowly begin to hinge forward. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, and then take flight. Way easier said than done. Take your time wherever you are, and we will all eventually meet in child's pose. There's no rush. Play however long you want to. Your knees are gonna come out wide. Big toes come to touch. Sink your hips down to your heels. Hands come out in front of you as you plant the palms down. Melting your forehead down towards the earth. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands up towards your body, lifting up, and then move your ankles out of the way. Extend the feet in a pike, flexing the feet, sitting up nice and tall, reaching through the crown of the head, arms come up. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, nice straight spine, reaching for those toes. And then inhaling up. Go ahead, keeping that left leg extended, take the right knee, bend the knee, and then come into that figure four stretch. Again, making sure that right foot is nice and flexed. So you're welcome to hang out right here. If you want to take it a little bit more, you're going to go ahead and take that shin up towards your chest. You're going to take your left hand, and that foot is going to come on the inside of that elbow, and you're just going to cradle your leg into your chest here. And you can rock from side to side. All right, guys, from here, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take your right hand under the right leg. So that right shoulder is going to come under the right knee. And you're going to look basically like an elephant trunk here. So that right leg comes under the right shoulder, or above the right shoulder. You're going to plant your hands down again. You're welcome to bring your blocks here. And you can just hang out right here. Feel whatever this feels like, right? From here, you're welcome to also play around with planting your hands down. Maybe you just lift your glutes up, right? Your heel is still on the ground. Engage in that core. Or maybe, just maybe, you lift that left leg off the ground. You can play with that as well. So this is a variation that you can come into to play with 8-angle pose. So one way you can get into 8-angle pose is by coming into this, right? Coming into your elephant trunk, and from your elephant trunk, you're gonna cross the ankles, and then you're gonna send the glutes back. You're gonna bend the elbows, lift the chest, and come forward. I probably need to face this way. But a way that you can cheat, an easier way, is instead of coming into that elephant trunk, what you can do, well, you come into the elephant trunk, instead of lifting up first, what you can do is just go ahead and cross the ankles, right? Go ahead and cross the ankles. Left ankle is above, or is under the right ankle. And then from here, you're gonna scooch forward. You're gonna lift your glute up. You're gonna send the glutes back. You're gonna come into that shelf, and then come into that hips. Yeah, good, that's awesome. And then send it back down. Nice job. And release, shake out those wrists. Extend the legs, come back into that pike. Bring that left knee in, plant the foot down. Option to stay here. Option to take figure four, flexing the left foot. If you want something a little more of a hip flexor opening, you can go ahead, take that shin up towards your chest, cradle that foot into your elbow, and you can rock from side to side, sitting up nice and tall. And then from here, you can go ahead and take that elephant trunk on the other side. So on the same side, you take that foot, that left shoulder comes under the left knee. You can plant the hands down. You can play around with just hanging out right here, looking like an elephant trunk. Or maybe you begin to lift the glutes up. Maybe you begin to lift the right leg up. And then maybe eventually you can play with that 8-angle pose. Again, guys, this is all variations. You're not expected to come into any of these. This is just a space for you guys to see how you get into different arm balances. And so you can eventually work up to them and build up the strength for it and the flexibility and the endurance for them. So whenever you are ready, there's no rush. Come back onto your glutes. Extend the legs out. Take your arms right in front of you, round the spine, and slowly begin to release the body down towards the floor without taking that big flop. Really engage the core. And then take the arms overhead. Nice little good morning stretch. You can take some wrist circles here. Just begin to release everything down towards the mat. The feet can come out wide. They fall over. Thanking yourself for challenging yourself. This was not an easy class. Thanking yourself for showing up. Whenever you're ready, bringing your hands down towards your sides, palms facing up. Melting your body onto the floor. Inhale, filling the belly with the breath. And as you exhale, belly falls down towards the spine. Again, noticing how your breath is right now. Is it different than the way you started class? Is it the same? And just taking these last final moments to be fully here, fully present, nowhere to be and nothing to do. Just lying here on your mat in corpse pose, in Shavasana. Soaking in the feelings as your body presses on the mat. Maybe the sounds around you. Your thoughts. Any feelings or sensations in the body. And just noticing. Taking a big deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, side out. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, part your lips open, side out. Taking some small movements in your body. Moving the head from side to side. Wiggling the toes here, wiggling the fingers. Reaching your arms overhead. Taking that nice full body stretch. And then whenever you're ready, there's no rush whatsoever. Making your way onto your favorite side into fetal position as you use your bicep as a pillow for under your head. And then using the palm of your hand, slowly press yourself up into easy seat, the way we started class today. Keeping the eyes closed, sitting up nice and tall here, reaching through the crown of the head, grounding down through the sits bones. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. As you exhale, hands come by your sides. Inhale, arms come up, palms come to touch. As you exhale, bring your hands right through heart center, thumb knuckles pressed against the sternum. Bowing your chin down to your chest, taking a moment here, again, to thank yourself for challenging yourself, for having fun, for showing up.
And just bringing a smile to your face, filling it with gratitude. And we'll close this practice with a deep breath in and exhale, sigh it out. Drawing your thumb knuckles up to your third eye center, that space in between your eyebrows. And the light, the love in me honors the light, the love in you. Thank you so much for showing up today and for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thanks so much, guys.